show us the edge. The chip on the shoulders, the fight and the passion that comes from within. Whoa. Try to win on every level. Yeah. Expectations high. Gotta show them you can fly. Play harder, better, smarter. Baby, put the league on notice. Show me the edge, yeah. Play with the edge, yeah. Show me the edge, yeah. Play with the edge, yeah. Show me the edge, yeah. Show me the edge, yeah, yeah. Whoa, done seen the walk of shame enough. Wanna see the walk of winning time to come up and bring out the apple. Don't every play, every possession. How bad you want it, love, you want it all. This ain't a blood of love, built for something greater. Attacking all obstacles, coming for the ring, my precious. You got the juice, the will, the heart, the fire. Show 'em the proof, show 'em that it shall be done. Show me the edge, yeah, yeah, yeah. Play with the edge, yeah. Show me the edge, yeah.
You're listening to the Pelicans Postgame Report on the PRO Media Network for all things Pelicans.
Be better in that area, and they give them credit. They were more mentally tougher than we were, and they were more disciplined tonight. And so, you know, the beauty in the NBA is you get to do it again tomorrow against another tough opponent. So we got to correct some of the issues that it's self-inflicted. The turnovers, not boxing out.
As far as defending the three-point line and shooting threes, what would you like to see differently tomorrow?
We have to create three-point opportunities for each other, and this is one of their strengths defensively. They try to take away threes. We know it. Every time the ball goes from side to side, we got quality looks, but 20 threes is not enough.
You mentioned another chance tomorrow. It's a big one considering what happened last time versus the Miami Heat. Is your locker room remembering that game at home at all, and the ejections, the ruckus?
I'm sure both teams will be excited to play the game for sure. You know, no one's forgot what happened. But for us, it's about winning the game in between the lines. It's not all of the other stuff. It's being physical in the right way, executing in the right way, being disciplined in the right way, and and trying to do what we can to win the game.
And can you give us any more information on VI?
No, we don't have any information right now. He's getting an MRI and getting some imaging done.
Yeah, he looks just like he's in quite a bit of pain as he was before. How tough is that to see?
It's extremely difficult to see him go down. Our prayers will be going up tonight, and hopefully we get some good news back.
What do you feel like they did to limit the three-point attempts?
Extremely handsy team. They got deflections. They got steals. When you have 19 turnovers as a group and they score 25 points, it's tough to win on anyone's home floor. And then you add the 20-second chance points. So those two factors right there, that's, death in the NBA.
Yeah, I think they took 3 charges out to Aegis. What do you see there with them involved inside?
They did a good job of getting into the paint, meeting them at the basket. I thought, once again, he could have got some calls that didn't go his way, but we'll give credit to them. They were the better team tonight, and we have to regroup and get back after it. All right, thank you.
All right, shout out to the fam, man. For all things Pelicans, you're now tuned into the Pelican Postgame Report. Shout out to the fam. I'm Big Q chiming in, man. Listen, man, Pelicans, man. As you can see, the title, Pelicans disappeared by the Magic. But this ain't no fun and games, man. I'm Big Q. We got Lex in the building. Shout out to y'all. Y'all please feel free to hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. By all means, feel free to share the show on your social media feed. We up in this thing. The Pelicans, very difficult matchup with the Magic. We talked about this in prior streams. the length and the athleticism of the Magic have given the Pelicans problems. They're just not a good stylistic matchup for the Pelicans. And then it's perpetuated by the fact that the Pelicans turn the ball over. They play sloppy. They don't circulate the ball like they were supposed to. And they help aid the team in taking them apart. So the Magic played a very good game. They got off, they got going. They're not even a 3-point shooting team. I was looking at the statistics, but they lit the Pelicans up tonight. And plus the effort, the energy was there. Maybe the Pelicans, I don't know. Maybe the Pelicans were looking beyond the Magic at the Miami Heat, perhaps. But at the end of the day, they just got their asses kicked, man. And then on top of that, a very grotesque injury occurs to Brandon Ingram. So it wasn't a very good looking injury. I mean, issue is he was, as you can see, I got him on screen right now. It was a very ugly, hyperextended situation for BI. And we're going to talk about that today. So shout out to the fam. Y'all hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. We up in this thing. Lex, welcome on in. Before we hit the statistics, the team stats, and get ready for the Miami game, what are your early thoughts on what you've seen tonight from the Pelicans?
I really wasn't surprised about the outcome. Reason being is, for one, the Pels have not been able to extend their winning streak past 4 games. That's been consistent. Every time they have a 4-game winning streak, that fifth game is like, yeah. Let's look at the algorithm here. They don't win it. It stops at 4 games in a row. They lose a game, and the next game they get back in the winning column. So hopefully that happens against Miami on tomorrow. But we shall see, because there's a lot of things that have also transpired, compared to, from that time on. But that right there, that statistic, like, that's been consistent all year. Whether we want to, if you believe in superstition or not or whatever, we have not been able to have a winning streak more than 4 games. We just haven't. It's almost like, it runs out. It's like, okay, we got to reset and refocus again. Now, I hope that won't be like that in the playoffs, because, obviously if we do keep that, then winning 4 games in a row, that would be great, because, it's a 7-game series. So it's first team to 4. But anyway, this game, Orlando is very long. They're very long. And they're pretty solid. Everybody understands their role. They're not only long, but they're also athletic. I know that they may not be the best shooting team, but one thing I will say is that, it seems like when the Pelicans play defense, or when we're trying to be aggressive, trying to get into, our opponent, that's a problem. Meaning, like, they're going to make calls very, very petty. They were very handsy. And let me tell you, I want to say this. Is like, I'm not saying that the Pelicans are the greatest defensive team, but we are a top 10 defense. But even in that same breath, no other team is that great of a defense. They're just not. There was a lot of hand checking. The calls that the refs made, I really didn't want to go here, but they were very inconsistent. The stuff with Zion, I just, it's beyond me. I know we've talked about it, but they call a foul on him for the most smallest contact, the most littlest contact. And there were times where he went into the lane and there was like a boatload of contact. They didn't call anything. But on the other end, when he was on defense, they would call the most pettiest foul, like it wasn't even his body. I'm like, that's what you're calling it. I mean, it doesn't make sense. Like literally, he is not getting a fair whistle. Like when they say life's not fair, like, yeah, the refs are not fair when it comes to Zion. They're just not. Um, they called two charges on him that Franz Wagner, I do believe that he took. Those were not charges. Those were not. It doesn't matter if you're set or not. If someone is avoiding that contact head on, and you are standing there, that is a block because the contact was not head on. He slipped them, and he did it against Jonathan. He did the same thing with Jonathan, and they called a blocking foul. And I'm like, that was the correct call. Because you can't just fall just because you're set. Just because your feet are set, you can't just fall. So I don't like if Zion is going off the side, he's slipping on the side of you, and you have your feet set, that's still not a charge. And you prove that because he did the same exact thing against Jonathan, and they called it a blocking foul. So the calls were not consistent. They weren't consistent at all. So that was a major problem. And I totally understand the charges, but if someone is going around you, that's not a charge, and you just happen to fall just so you can get the ref to make that call, that's not a charge. And they should know that. They really should know that. Ball movement wasn't the greatest on today. I kind of look at it as like there wasn't enough creativity. Like when you're playing a team like this, that's long, that's very handsy, they were packing the paint. They were really packing, they were really helping. Like I don't understand why we aren't exploiting teams by using the pick and roll. I don't really understand that part. But I mean, Willie doesn't really use pick and rolls. They actually used it on Orlando. They used it with Banchero. I think what is his name? The Duke guy, the big man.
Oh, Wagner?
No, not Wagner.
Wendell.
Wendell, thank you. Wendell came in the middle of the floor to screen Zion in the middle.
And got his issue.
And Banchero went around and he had a dunk. And I was like, that is what I would like to see with Zion and Jonas. I don't understand why we don't use something as simple and basic as that. That's still an issue, the pick and roll. The pick and roll is used throughout the whole league, with the exceptions of the Pels. We don't really use it. It's more so like we use it every now and then, but it's just not consistent. And I wish we would use it, especially when Zion is going downhill. It's like Jonas is a big guy. It's hard for guys to get around him. And you have someone like Zion who's a big guy. He's a round guy. He's solid in depth. Okay. It's like no one can guard that. They did that. They did that a lot against the T-Wolves. And it works, but we don't see it enough. I wish that could have been used a little bit more. It really would have, made them have to pick their poison. Willie kind of, he really went. Willie was Willie. He was Willie tonight. But I will say this. Yeah, I know. Obviously, I saw that BI event, if you want to call it that, or incident or injury. That kind of brought flashbacks for me. But yeah, it looked really bad. But I felt every bit of that. It was like overly hyperextended. And it's funny because like when you experience something like that, it's like your life flashes right before your eyes. You know what I'm saying? It really does. So I'm really hoping that, it's just, an overly hyperextended knee and nothing else. I mean, there was contact. I think the way that he was running in that angle and the way that Suggs kind of bumped him.
He bumped into him, and it just went the wrong way, man. It was ugly.
Yeah.
I don't like seeing nothing like that, man.
Yeah, I don't either. It just, I don't know. It's like the contact that the Pelicans get and the contact that the opponent teams get. It's two different types of contact. It's like the contact that's put on the Pels. It's more like, okay, somebody's going to get hurt. Whereas the contact that, for the opponent team, like nobody on this team is trying to hurt anybody. Everybody has, for the most part, control of their limbs. Like I saw some Orlando players falling to the floor, and I'm like, well, I wasn't really nice about it, but I'm like, man, get up off the floor. Like
Yeah.
you weren't hit like that. You did not receive contact like that. Nobody's feeling sorry for you. Like I'm just tired because it made it seem like the contact that the Pelicans were getting was less. It was less just on how they were reacting to the contact when they were down on the floor. And I'm like, you all did not receive the type of contact that Brandon received. Nobody in this league is receiving the contact that Zion is getting. Like, period. Nobody is. So I really have a problem with that because it's basically it's like a wolf dressed in sheep's clothing. Y'all are faking it. You know what I'm saying? I mean, you're trying to, cry wolf, laying on the ground, staying on the ground, making it seem like you really got hurt. You didn't. And I'm really tired of that. I mean, it's just and this isn't biasness. That's the crazy thing. People want to go, oh, you're being biased. No, I'm looking at this game. I officiate for a living. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, I'm looking at these things and I'm like, this is not right. This is not holy. This is not cool.
You know what, Lex? You know what I see a lot of times is they are consistent in not making the correct calls. I mean, it's getting so to the point where a lot of the commentators are calling it out, and I've listened to watched a lot of ball over the years. The commentators like Mike Breen and all them back in the day would say, they would say a few things, but would not, was a memo out to not heavily officiating. But now, since all of this money came in, the officiating game is totally changed. I mean, it's totally it's a new norm.
It seems like
to get used to not consistent contact in it because it's going to get worse before it gets better because the NBA there's no mandates on the NBA to improve officiating. They like how things are currently until somebody gets hurt and then they'll try to reel it in.
You know what? I guess, so Slim said sports gambling. But
Absolutely.
I guess, the thing is the everybody rooting for the other team, right? Nobody rooting for the Pelicans. It's like, look, look, if you bank on the Pelicans, oh no, don't do that. Don't do that. You might want to go with the other team because they ain't gonna call nothing for the Pelicans. They just it's not gonna be a fair game for the
Well,
most part.
we've seen we're used to it. It's the officiating this year it's been horrible, but that's league
It
wide.
it,
It's
it
more.
does kill me though because I have a mind of a referee, so I I'm in that position all the time. So me looking at it, I'm like, dude, that's not a good call. And really, it's to the point like if it is the wrong call and it goes the Pelicans' way, I'm like, well, it's well deserving because y'all probably just gonna make it up and with 5 more against the Pels. You know what I'm saying? That's how I've been looking at it because it's like, look, you know what? They get so many calls wrong. Look, they get a call, actually get a call wrong, and it goes for the Pels. I'm like, look, it probably made up for the other 10 you gonna miss. So you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna take it. I'm gonna
Yeah,
take it.
I don't know if it's a lose-lose situation no matter how you look at it, Lex. All right,
Yeah, it
let,
is.
let's get ready to hit some of these team statistics right here. We're gonna get more into it, and we'll kind of get ready to play a preview the Heat matchup tomorrow, which is after a tough loss to the Magic, and then the loss of Bi. The Pelicans have to rebound, retool, and get ready
Mhm.
for a very physical matchup against the Miami Heat. But for right now, let's just kind of delve over the stats. Pelicans tonight, 54.5% from the field, 42 of 77. That's 10 less field goal attempts than the Magic tonight. They were 6 of 20 from downtown. The Magic were 14 of 36 shooting a rock from downtown. 14. I think what is it? 9 or 10 3-point attempts a game or something. I mean, makes per game or something like that. I don't remember exactly how much, but I know it's something around there. But 14 of 36 tonight by the Magic versus the 6 of 20 by Pelicans. They did get to the foul line, 16 of 21 by the Pelicans for just over 76%. The Magic were 13 of 19 for 68.4%. 40 rebounds by the Magic tonight versus 34 by the Pelicans. They did have 24 assists, but the Magic had 33 in the matchup, 11 steals by the Pels versus 12 by the Magic. And you see the turnovers, 19 turnovers by the Pelicans, 19 turnovers by the Pelicans, 25 points off versus 16 by the Magic, 20 points off their stuff. Then you look at the points in the paint, 62 to 54, the Magic way. So, I mean, they were up by as much as 12 early on, and then the bottom dropped out from the Pelicans after that, and then the Magic just had the game for the rest of the way. So it was, and of course, like I said, they lost Bi, but this was just like an energy thing early on. They started well, and then it just fell apart. They couldn't maintain the energy. Everything just went off. The offense turned off. The ball stopped circulating, and then the Magic just seized on them. 21 points by Trey Murphy in 29 minutes. He was 6 of 10 from the field. He had 3-pointers, 3 of 5 from downtown, 66 of 7 from the foul line for Trigger Trey Murphy, 20 for Zion in 29 minutes, 8 of 15 from the field. He had 7 rebounds, 2 steals, 2 assists, and a block. 14 by Ingram before he got hurt, 21 minutes. Finished with 3 assists against 4 rebounds, 13 from Herb in 32 minutes with 5 assists, 6 boards, 18 from CJ in 34 minutes, 6 of 12 from the field. He had 3 3-pointers tonight. He was 3 or 4 from the foul line, 18 points, 3 boards, 3 assists by him, and that's pretty much it. Valanciunas, 18 minutes in the game, 6 points, 5 rebounds, 5 big V. Off the bench, Jeremiah Robinson Earl had 6. Larry Nance played 18 minutes, attempted 1 shot for him today. No points from Larry, 2 rebounds, 3 assists. And then outside of that, nothing really to talk about. Najee Marshall, 18 minutes. He was 2 of 5 from the field, 0 of 2 from downtown, 4 points and 2 assists. So, and then Jose was also, he had some time in there as well. 18 minutes, no points. 3 assists. So our bench wasn't benching tonight. They were relatively fine. Yeah, Jose didn't score anything off of 3 attempts in 18 minutes. 18 minutes, no points from Jose.
We
18
really
minutes
needed shooting in
before.
this game, Big
You
Q.
need help. You need I know, but hey,
And that's why I didn't want to go there. But you know,
I know you was gonna go there sooner or later because I know you was thinking about
I
when I
mean,
was watching the game. I was hearing you saying, you know what, where's the shooting at? You know, we are trailing. Well, we need a spark. That's the
well, when we were down 7, we cut into that lead, remember?
Mhm. We
Cause
did.
cause Zion, he had like what, 4 fouls? He was attacking. You know, and that was after BI went out the game. So they started getting more aggressive. CJ, he made some shots. I think, yeah, Herb, he made, and there was consecutive. There was a run, and Orlando to took a timeout to kind of halt the run and all that stuff. But that would have been the perfect time to really make a change because first of all, Orlando was not expecting it. That
Yes.
would have given us more shooting. And the thing is like we don't know unless you try it. But I've said many times, it's nothing new that the biggest concern that I have when it comes down to it is the coaching. I don't have a problem with the team. I mean, the team is what we have. You know, we are where we are with that. But that's the biggest thing that kind of just concerns me.
Right.
Um, it just does. The thing is that I've given Willie props, but one thing, looking at the teams that we played, we were supposed to beat those teams. You see what I'm saying? Like we all said that many a times that the teams that we played before, during the streak, we were supposed to beat them. There was no reason why we shouldn't have beaten them. So the thing is like it's easy to give, I guess, credit, the credit word, to Willie when we are supposed to win. I mean, it's like, well, they don't have anybody. You have a more talented team. Like you're just a better team than this team. But the thing is that when it comes down to, okay, Willie, you got to coach. Willie, you got to make changes. You got to make quicker changes. You got to maybe dig into your bench a little bit more. Um, what does the game need? You have to read the vibe and read the flow of the game. What does this game need? When it comes to that, if you're asking Willie Green to really coach, it's basically not happening. Like if we're behind which we were for most of the game, I mean, it's almost like, golly, well, we really have not come back on teams like that this season. When we fall behind like that, we don't really recover. We haven't shown in the algorithm, we haven't shown that we could recover. Um, I mean, so again, like that stuff is staying the same. We can win games via blowout. I believe we're second behind Boston as far as winning games um, by blowout. But we if we're getting blown out or the game is close, we still have not proven that we can win those type games, come from behind or win those close games. And I think the only close game that we have won that I can, recall is against the Spurs.
Mhm. You
That's
know,
the only game that we won that was close, and that was at the Spurs. So we've yet to accomplish those things. We're still, the same in a lot of things, what we've talked about. But at this point, it's not like there's changes going to come. So we, have to kind of accept what we get. But it's just there. It's just stating a fact.
yeah, it's very interesting because a lot of the games we talk about with the Pelicans was, and people talk about, can they get to 50 and all that. The reality is a lot of the losses that the Pelicans had, they had the game and then just bungled it. They mishandled it.
Yeah.
And it like tonight, they started off, they wasn't, they started off well, very well. They were playing well, and then all of a sudden it just it just flatlined. The ball stopped circulating. There was a stretch where I
Well,
seen the
they
Magic.
made adjustments too.
Right, that's true. And I started seeing things started to happen. And yeah, they adjusted all right. They adjusted the Pelicans into just a flatline situation, and they just built momentum, and the Pelicans couldn't get back into the game. The Magic just took it away. And yeah, it was you got to give Coach Mosley a shout out. He got his contract extension. Him and Willie started at the same time. You know, you had with Jacques Vaughn, who started with the Brooklyn Nets. Of course, he got fired. Mosley started the same time that Willie Green started, and he got his contract extension. He built Orlando up. Now, stylistically, and I've said this before, and I said this in prior shows, Orlando's a bad matchup for the Pelicans. They're a bad matchup for many teams because of how they're built. Like we talked about how athletic those guys is, tall guys that are multi-skilled, that can play all over the area, all over the court. And they move very well. And it don't help when you turn the ball over and you don't play with high IQ. And of course your coaches, you get out coached a bit. You get out adjusted. They adjust to what you're doing, you adjust to what they're doing. And if your adjustments don't work, keep adjusting till they do, and just kind of change some things up. Ultimately, at the end of the day, it's a tough loss for the Pelicans. But a lot of these losses that we've had, the Pelicans have been in these games, and then at the end, they just don't finish the game. They don't play the length of the game, and that's unfortunate. But toward the back end of this current stretch of games that I've seen some improvement by them. But man, it just like when you see the matchup previously with Brooklyn, I know that's a different team because Orlando is a team that's serious. They're a young team with a lot of talent. So I mean, unfortunately, to me, I just think it's a style matchup that's difficult for the Pelicans to deal with. Remember, the Magic beat them last year. They beat them last year, like what was it? Twice in the span of what? Was it a week or two? Something like 10 days or something like that.
Yeah, that was like
back in
that was when during the 10-game losing streak. I
Yeah.
mean, it wasn't good. It wasn't just them. It was everybody.
Yeah, it's just
But I see what you're saying. I mean,
right. But that's
it
what I'm
was
saying. You mentioned Willie. Now you want to give him his credit. You want to give him his flowers. Sometimes the team looks well. They look confident. They started the game off pretty good, and then, like you said, they adjusted. The Magic adjusted, and then after they adjusted, we couldn't adjust to their adjustment, and ultimately the game adjusted in the loss column for the Pelicans.
yeah.
So it's that's something that they got to build on, and definitely Willie got to get better on, man. So, like I said, I'm still a Willie Green guy. I give Willie his credit, his credit. But indeed, as a head coach, he definitely needs to keep improving his scheme. He got to keep improving and get smarter in his basketball decision making. But overall, it's the Pelicans are handling business. They picked up 42 wins. They're 42-25 right now. They're 8-2 over the last 10 contests. Currently sitting one game behind the Clippers at the 5th spot, chasing the Clippers down. Miami's next on the horizon. Lex, before we jump to the Miami matchup, go ahead. I know you won't say something. Go ahead, sweetheart.
Yeah, I wanted to ask you a question.
Okay.
And this is for anybody in the chat as well. Has there been any point in time this season where you feel that Willie Green has really like outcoached another team? Like outcoached the other coach on the team?
Did he outcoach somebody?
Yeah. Does anybody feel like he's really done that? And we have a lot of wins. How many wins are we over?
Well, we 42-20. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I can't. It was a couple. Well,
who can you honestly say that? Yeah, Willie outcoached that guy.
I'm drawing blanks. I mean, I'm thinking about it in terms of the team performing. Having effort games where they come out and they just have a spirit about them. Zion's is a man possessed. The team is playing really well, so
but
he gets
not just energy. It's the strategy, right?
Right.
The adjustments and things like that. Now, Judah Solo said Ty Lue. How do you all feel about that?
Did he out coach Ty Lue in the Clippers game?
Because y'all
Maybe.
do know that, the Pelicans have had the
Well, Willie gives somebody a
numbers.
clinic. That's what that's what you're saying, Lex. Like
Say
he comes
again?
out, he comes out and gives somebody a coaching clinic. I don't know if I can say that he gives coaching clinics to other team. His teams outperform them. I would give him credit for getting them on game, getting them on code to beat some of these other teams. But out coaching somebody, I
Yeah.
don't know, man. I don't know if I can name one team in particular or coach in particular that Willie gave a clinic to.
But I asked that question because so you can see why it's such a huge concern. You know what I'm saying? Because
You saying
like
in terms of
a lot of
playoffs,
times,
getting
a
them in
lot of
position to play?
times it's this team is a talented team. Okay? They're very talented. We can clearly see that. But it's like, for instance, this game reminded me of the Cleveland game. One thing that I'm seeing is that what was the 3-point shooting percentage? What was that?
Hold on,
Go back to the
let me see. For the Pelicans tonight, it was 6 of 20 for 30%. Magic were 14 of 36 for 39%.
like I think we had made like 4 3-point shots against Cleveland. So it really isn't. And I think we took, well, no, the attempts were low too. The attempts were way lower in that game. But the thing is that the shooting from behind the arc, it's like that really does hurt a lot. And it's funny because we've said for what, a season, maybe 2 seasons, maybe more, that we need shooters, but all of our shooters are not being used.
Lex, listen, you're right. This the whole thing that's crazy
It's
about
like, what's the point in having weapons?
if you don't
Like,
use it.
we need a grenade. We're not going to use that. We're going to use a kitchen knife.
You
We're
put
going to
Hawkins.
use a butter knife.
You did put Hawkins in there. You put Hawkins and Matt Ryan in. It was late in the game, but
It's like,
it
what?
didn't count. But you know what's crazy though, Lex, about the Magic tonight? Their statistics, like from as far as the 3-point shooting is concerned, and this is more than likely really just they were out of character in terms of their statistics.
But the
They
Magic
they
play very
make
well at home.
right, but this is the
When the
thing in
Magic
terms of
are away, they're hot garbage, as Deion Sanders would say. They're really hot garbage. That's one thing that separates the Magic from us, is that we're actually solid away and at home.
we are.
So
Yeah, they're
yeah,
not truly. Well, I mean, they don't have quite the experience you have now. Mosley's got them, playing really well off of talent, and he has a system that takes the advantage of their best attributes. But in terms of
I mean, he
in terms of
maximizes their strengths,
right,
which we don't really get that a whole lot. And really, and I've said this before, Big Q, I'm concerned about the usage of Jonas
oh,
and
that's not
Larry, man. The
well
lack of usage with Jonas and
the
the
overusage of Larry Nance. Yes,
exactly. I've said
right.
that many a times. That can really concerns me because Willie Green is so in love. And I've said this in wins too. So I don't want y'all to think that, I haven't mentioned this stuff. But yeah, Willie Green is so in love with small ball, man. He's so in love with small ball. And I feel like the love that much love for small ball, it can kill you sometimes. It showed in this game, and it showed against Cleveland. Like you can't teach size. You can't teach 7 foot. I don't care what anybody says. If you disagree with me, that's fine. You cannot teach 7 foot. I know Jonas has problems with movement, but I actually felt like it was better with him being out there than Larry at times. And I know when Zion, when he drove in the lane, Larry went back to Butterfinger hands Larry. I'm like, oh my gosh, Larry, dog, catch the ball with your hands, not your head. What are you doing? He did that like 3 times. I'm like, I just
Lex, let me just throw some stats in here about that. What you're saying about Larry Nance? Larry Nance played 18 minutes tonight. He had 0 points. Now listen, you combine Jonas, who played 18 minutes. If you combine all 8 points, Larry, Valachunas, and Uncle Robinson Earl, that's 12 points between all 3 of those guys.
and
Now
Larry didn't score nothing.
Larry took 1 shot and he didn't score. Now listen, we talk about that. Larry played the same amount of minutes as Valachunas, but Willie, this is one of the changes that he spoke of several games ago when he talked about how he was going to kind of change his lineup. And the only player that you can see noticeably impacted by that as a starter is Valachunas. We've seen his minutes completely dwindle. He had 18 minutes, and it's not a
JV
trend
went
that's
from
going to
being
change.
used heavily. Like, remember we were praising, JV is being used at the
Right.
beginning of the season.
Well,
For
they was
most
trying
of
to
the
get him
season,
out of
for
here.
the first half of the season, JV was actually being utilized.
Yeah, they was
And
trying to
now
utilize him. Let's try to trade his ass.
since the post. But the thing is that I
They was
mean,
trying
there's
to
a lot. But
utilize
the
him,
thing
right?
is, they didn't trade him.
Right, but that's the point. The point was
He has all the cards. The ball is in his court.
the whole thing is with that is they didn't find something that they wanted that looked good enough for him to get rid of him. But you're right. He definitely has the leverage now.
Yeah.
But the reality is the
And
Pelicans,
really, I feel like everything that's happening right now, that's like, man, yeah, I'm ready. Like, I can see him going to his agent. Yeah, I'm ready to go. Yeah, you like, look, I want to be here. I think I love my team, but the coach doesn't want me here.
no, he don't
And
want
I'm
him.
not saying
No.
I'm not saying like Willie Green saying that directly, but it's indirect, which is directly. Like, dude, you're not utilizing him. You're treating him like he has nothing to give the game. Like he's not an asset to the game, or you value more of his liability than his asset. Because the thing is, let's be honest, there's pros and cons about each player, right? So we have to make it even with everybody. There's pros and cons about Larry's game. Okay? Yes, Larry, he does move well. But just like tonight, just like you said, BQ, Larry had how many points?
He didn't have any points. He played the same amount of
Yet
minutes as Jonas.
Jonas is a walking what? Somebody said it in the chat.
He
Mr.
double.
Bird.
Yeah.
He's a guaranteed double.
Well, he's not scoring at it. His numbers have dropped
And
consistently. Look at this,
so
Lex.
you're saying that a guaranteed double is more of a liability than someone who is not?
In Willie's mind, it is.
I
'Cause
mean,
if you look at
let me
this.
tell y'all something for those who
Look at these
think
last several
Jonas
games.
is a defensive liability. Actually, he's not. When you use him, when you utilize Jonas, that energy that you give to him on the offensive end with his skill set, he transfers it where?
That goes to his
defensive end.
yeah, when you get him going, everything
Yes,
gets
that's
yeah.
that's what coaching is. You have to give that. You have to give that to a player. You have to empower that player. If you want something out of a player, you have to give that player something. It's like a relationship. You're not going to get out of the relationship what you don't put in. I don't.
Well, I mean,
That's too heavy.
no, I know you pro Jonas. I understand that because the last decent game Jonas put up for the Pelicans was against the Pacers. He scored 15 points and 9 rebounds in the game. Ever since then, the Toronto game, 20 minutes, 10 points and 10 rebounds. Then look at after that from Philly all the way to tonight. He never got over 19 minutes. It was 19, 17, 15, 18, 19, 17, 18. So they definitely the noticeable change that Willie talked about what was going to happen to his lineups directly impact
Yeah.
on this Valanciunas, and to the point where
And that's
it,
been his
it is
only adjustment. Have you noticed that? That's
well,
been his
he's got Robinson Earl. He's trying to move Robinson early because he hears the talking about overusing Larry Nance. So what
yeah,
does
so
he do?
but
That's
you
his
still
next
can't
move.
teach
Is
height. You
right,
still
but
can't teach height,
you
man.
can't. But still,
If
no,
you're
he
going up against a 7-footer, I
Lex
don't
care about that. Lex,
huh?
he doesn't care about that.
I
He,
know, I
he would
know.
switch
But it
Larry
still
6'7"
bothers me. And
against a 7-footer. And how big is Robinson Earl? 6'8", 6'9". I
man,
mean,
I think he's
he would
shorter
have
than Larry.
I
I
think
think
he's
he's 6'6". He's the same height as Zion with less
I think
athleticism.
he's a little taller than him. I want to say. Let me pull his height up. I
Don't
think
count his hair. Okay, you know what I'm saying? Look, give him a haircut in
yeah.
your mind.
Let me see. Yeah, I think he's a little 6'9". He's 6'9". Yes. So there you go. He's 6'9". Larry is
You
what
know what?
6'7".
He does not. He don't look like he's 6'9".
Yeah, he got. I think
If
they
he's
saying
6'9", Zion is 6'7".
they got Larry at 6'8". They got Larry listed at 6'8". So it's 6'8". And we think it's more like 6'7" for Larry. And
I
they
think
saying
they counting the hair. I think they counting the hair, Big Q. No, I'm saying, look, Larry got a fade, man. He got a clean cut. Look,
but
Robinson Earl, he got his Abraham Lincoln type hair going on, man. I'm telling you. I
yeah.
don't think he's 6'9". You can't count the hair. If you're not gonna look, and I don't think it's the shoes either.
Well, Larry ain't he ain't jumping up there like he was. He a little old. He has some injuries and stuff like that.
And
But
Larry ain't catching the ball like he,
it's
you know what I'm saying?
man,
Like how Zion is attacking the lane. Be ready for the ball. Put your hands up and be ready for it. Man, he
I,
put his hands up and it hit his head and he turned around. Did you see that? He turned around in a circle. I'm like, no, Larry, you're turning.
what are you doing, bro? But it just wasn't his night, man. And you're right about them and how it just Jonas's minutes have shrunk. Larry's
like overnight too. It's like,
well, yeah, it's tough. And see, the thing
he said,
is, you're
look,
right. You can't teach height.
Jonas, if you're
That's
not a
big.
liability, I will make you a liability, man.
Yeah, he totally, just pulled whatever investment he had in Jonas and said, "Man, the hell with this. We're gonna do it this way. If we're gonna make the playoffs, all trust into small ball Larry, and then I'm gonna roll in there Robinson Earl, and of course, like you said, this is part of his philosophy, and he realized, listen, Willie has to get this done. He has to get this done. He's facing at the end of his contract. They're going to give him a little bit more leverage to see if he can do what he got to do. But at the end of the day, he got an incredibly talented team that's deep. It's up to him to get the most out of these guys. That's what it comes down to. So let's go to, and this is you talking about him going up against Mosley tonight, and Mosley kind of out coaching him. We got Spoelstra. We got Spoelstra coming up here next, and this is going to be a very chippy game.
Didn't he go to the finals last season?
It's going to be interesting, Lex. And listen, let me play this.
Eighth seed.
Let me remind you.
Finals.
Check this out, Lex. Let me play this. Look, check.
Okay. All right. I just want to,
yeah,
so we can understand the coaching.
Right. Oh yeah. It's gonna be a clinic one way or the other, man. It's going, Spoelstra is one of the best in the game, man. And I can only imagine, man, if we had him coaching this, the Pelicans already have 50. There'll be 2 games above 50, man. It just
there's a lot of coaches that we could replace Willie with, and they would be way better than what they are now.
Shit.
They literally would, just because of that coaching, because they're the talent. I mean, we've said it many times. I mean, this team is won based off talent a lot of times. I mean, really, I think the energy is one thing. I know we talk about their energy, how they come out and play, but to really set them up in the places, you know, the rotations, all that stuff. I mean, it's a whole different ball game. It's a whole different ball game.
All right, and just to stoke the fire. This is what Will
Go on and play it.
said. Here we go.
So I think a lot of your fans really love that term, kind of like "don't poke the bear." Do you think, like, kind of with this tension and the way everything kind of goes down, do you think you'll carry a little bit of that tension into the next game?
Oh, the next time we play them?
Yeah.
I mean, sure. We'll beat them the next time too. We're just a better team. I'm not going to say that they're not a good team, but I don't think this really matters. I think that, you know, when we get them on our home court, it's going to be a different game. I hope that they're healthy, and it's going to be the same outcome.
So I think a lot of your fans really love that.
So that's what he said last time, and he said he had some other comments that he made as well about him missing out on some money and all that kind of stuff. So for this upcoming game, so yeah, he's looking forward to the matchup against the Pelicans, man, and let's get off.
It really, I think it's really something, because this game was a back-to-back for the Pelicans as well. That first game, you remember that?
Yes.
Like, Miami was actually waiting in town, so I think it's kind of interesting how. So y'all got it back-to-back for the Pelicans playing this team, and they didn't play before, you know. It's the same thing. I think that's kind of crazy how that worked. I mean, I know we've known it for a while because we've been looking forward to March 22nd, because, you know, really this was going to tell us more about this team. As far as, you know, rising to the occasion, really, you know, going to the next level. But, you know, obviously, I think the first game against Miami, because Brandon was sick, right? He didn't even play. So, you know, it'll kind of have basically a similar lineup from the last game, because, you know, I'm pretty sure he's not going to be playing on tomorrow. I'm pretty sure of that. So,
Oh yeah, I don't think he plays tomorrow either.
yeah. So basically, the
Tonight.
team that we played with him, because he was sick that day, he didn't play against Miami. He hasn't played against Miami at all this season. So it's basically going to be the same lineup as that game. So we're still not going to have everybody, but it'll be interesting to see if Willie, you know, plays Matt Ryan or Jordan Hawkins. It'll be really interesting, you know, if he plays him.
I think he is. I mean, he got to dig into that bench, especially on the back-to-back like this, you know. And it was this type of matchup with a high energy effort game against the Magic. Now he eventually did sit Zion down, but these back-to-backs like this on the road, man, you got to dig into the bench. That's the bad news is, I ain't gonna say any too much of the bad news is with BI's injury situation, but that's why you have a deep team. You got to be able to utilize those guys. You got to be able to get them involved. Be that whatever the situation, whether it's, I mean, we definitely need the instant offense of Jordan Hawkins. We can use that. We can use some shooting from Matt Ryan and what he brings. But, you know, like against the Magic, and I'm about to leave that alone. I mean, we need the bench to perform. You know, when the starters are having their time, we need the bench to get involved. We can't have three guys that play 18 odd minutes and don't give you any points. I mean, or very little points. The bench has to provide more than just come in there and give a boost and play some defense. They have to be able to help shrink the lead or maintain the lead. And tonight, the bench didn't really get the Pelicans a goddamn thing. So anyway, let's look at some of the statistics in terms of what we'll see against the Miami Heat matchup, man, in this one. And this is a couple of things, and that's very interesting, man. But the Magic, we know they're 5-5 over the last 10 games. So they won tonight against the Cleveland Cavaliers. They did beat the Cavs. That's the last matchup. You look at their season statistics, they top 4 in opponents' opposition points per game at 109.3. They are a top 11 team in opposition field goal percentage. You know, you can see the top 5 free throw percentage and turnovers, all this kind of stuff. But, you know, we know that the Heat is a team that's well coached. They're scrappy. You know, I think Bam is supposed to be. I think he dealing with some type of issue, but I think he'll be able to play. But at the end of the day, this is one of those gut check games. You talk about playoff atmosphere in Miami with this game, and we know BI is not going to be there. We're going to need Zion to step up. We're going to need this team to play to have a much better performance against the Magic. So flush this game as much as you can, and then get ready, retool, get ready, rebound, and get ready for the Miami Heat. So let's delve into that. Talk about the ways the Pelicans are going to win this matchup, Lex.
The first thing is energy. You gotta bring the energy in this game. It cannot be for the first quarter or just the start of the game. A lot of times, you know, it's peppered, but the energy has to be consistent. But we must match the energy or exceed it. In this case, we deeply, deeply need to exceed. We need to exceed the energy part. The next thing is we cannot make a lot of mistakes against this team. Like, you thought we had a problem with Orlando? Yeah, well, like, you can multiply that by 10 with this team. This is not just, Orlando, they're a young team. They're still growing. They have a lot of athleticism, but it's not just athleticism with the Miami Heat. They have wits. They're very smart. They make good decisions. Like, that's the level. Like, they are a conference, not just a playoff contender. They're a conference finals contender. They're an NBA finals contender. That's what this team is. That's what this team is. So the playoff part, it's beyond that. This team makes very good decisions. When you think this team is out of the game, and it really will look like they may be out of the game, they're not out of the game. It's not really how the Warriors would do, but with them, it's like the Miami Heat, they work hard. They work extremely hard. They take on the characteristics of Jimmy Butler. That's who they take on. They take on the characteristics of him. The same thing is Eric Spoelstra, which he epitomizes Heat culture. Like, the grind is really there. So, I mean, talk about dotting your I's, crossing your T's. You almost have to have a perfect game against this team. You literally have to. You have to win the 50-50 balls. You have to ball movement, player movement. Shots have to get knocked down, and y'all got to take and make more threes than what you did on tonight. You got to do that. Got to do that. This team is balanced, and they really, 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 really know who they are. So that's what we're going up against. We have to be super, super disciplined, just more so than we've ever been, to even give ourselves a chance. But this team is good. I mean, this team is good, y'all. You can't hide from it. I mean, Jimmy Butler, he talks a lot of talk. Same thing with Draymond, but I mean, the thing is that look at the teams, man. Look at their resume. You can't ignore it. You can't down it. You can't spit on it. Whatever. I mean, we have to rise up to where they are and where they've been. So, I mean, I don't know what's going to happen on tomorrow. But we those are the things that we have to do in order to have a chance to win, because Jimmy, he wasn't bluffing. We know he doesn't do that. We've seen what he's done, when he was at the T-Wolves with the Sixers, now with the Heat. You know, we just got to come with it. And we can't be punks out there. We got to be really, really disciplined, and we got to play together and get it done. Because it's going to be a battle. I like it to be on the winning end, but it is going to be a battle. But if the Pelicans don't come with those things that I just said, it's going to be a long night.
Yeah, this is one of those games where it's going to be a playoff style atmosphere. The Pelicans, this is one of those games that also will kind of indicate the Pelicans ready to take that next step in terms of meeting teams or meeting up with really good players or teams. Well, a guy that's as accomplished in terms of what he's done in the NBA at a championship level is Jimmy Butler. And then, of course, you had Draymond Green talking. This will be the first step in shutting these type of guys up and beating these clubs. That'll get the Pelicans. I ain't looking for them to respect them, but it is a marker. It's a step in the right direction when you slap these type of teams down and they are literally publicly disrespecting you. So anyway, let me cover this before we get ready to leave. This is from an article that came out earlier today from SI, and it says Miami Heat's Jimmy Butler comically recalls ejection against the New Orleans Pelicans. This is what he said in the article. They said, and this is just one of his quotes. Quote: he said, there is a freaking memory. I got fined a lot of money. That's my memory. I don't give a about tensions flaring and all that. I got kids, diapers, baby food. You know what I'm talking about? Like, that's crazy. I'm trying to get my bread back. That's something he told Jason Jackson, who covers the Miami Heat, some of the broadcasts. He was talking to him in the interview about what was his mindset against getting ready for the Pelicans. And of course, tonight, they talk about him in the game.
To give me his contract, because let me tell you something. If I get fined, I'm still not complaining about losing money. Because you making a whole lot of it, dog. Chicken. Hey, man. Look, you can take my pay grade. You know what I'm saying? Hey, man, it ain't the same.
Nah,
it is different. Like, look, I know how much diapers cost. Where you get your diapers from? Well, you guys Superman diapers or something. You know what I'm saying? If they huggies, man. I mean, shoot, for real. You know what I'm saying? Hey, but like, or if you go to Sam's Club and get a buck, you spending about what? About $30, maybe $40 or something like that.
Yeah, he can buy.
You know what I'm saying, dude? You can't afford. You can't afford. Come on, you a millionaire? You talking about some $40 diapers from Sam's if you buy them in bulk? Okay, get a membership.
Yes, indeed, man. So I mean, old Jimmy, man. We got to make sure we represent, man, and handle business.
He's touched, man. He is so touched.
We got to make sure we take care of business against old Jimmy and his
mom. He just had one child, though.
I don't know. I didn't realize. Yeah, I think he got more than one child, though. I'm not certain on that.
I guess because they got behind the scenes children, if that makes sense.
Behind the scenes.
What? I'm trying to say it nicely.
Okay. Yes. Mr. Green down in Houston type children. Okay, I got you. I got you. Oh my!
Oh, goodness gracious!
Game out here. It's a very murky game out here. All right, fam. So listen, that's gonna do it for tonight, man. Listen, we had a downer right now in terms of the effort by our Pelicans tonight. They get knocked off, or as I said, in the Pelicans disappeared by the Magic, 121 to 106. But the only thing is, we return tomorrow, Friday, to be able to deal with the Pelicans versus the Miami Heat, baby. So that's going to be hopefully a better performance. We know Bi is more than likely is going to be out. Christian Clark did say they're supposed to be doing MRI soon.
So is Rob. I think Robinson Earl's gonna be out too. Somebody said.
Oh, Robinson, yeah,
I didn't know that. Did they already put that out? Who's gonna be playing on tomorrow?
Hold on, let me take a look at that because I don't.
And you missed some key comments, Big Q.
Did I? Well, go ahead, spotlight them. Which ones we missed there, Lex? Who we missed?
Oh, Mr. Bird's comment on Rachel Nichols.
Oh my goodness. Yes, indeed. I remember that. That was right before Rachel got up out of ESPN, man. That's before
okay. They said Duncan Robinson. Okay.
Duncan, okay.
I'm sorry. I was just thinking on the Pelicans.
Jeremiah Robinson.
Yeah. Because we really do need everybody, man. Willie need to play our big man. Why do we have Cody Zeller on the team?
He washes the clothes.
Baby, you had to go that low. I was like, look, I know we need practice players, but
right.
You know what I'm saying?
It appears that we have a very tall washing machine there, so the top. And we can't. And Jonas already said he's not doing it. So I mean, Cody Zeller.
Jonas is the starter. He ain't getting hazed.
He's not doing it.
Man. Cody went to the finals last season.
Yeah, he did, but he got to earn his way up to the Pelicans. You see, that's what it comes down to. Cody is at the back of the bench.
He went to the finals last season.
Oh yeah, and sometimes when the
finals last season to washing Pelicans clothes.
Oh yeah, I thought you knew that, Lex. I thought you knew we had that tall washing machine. It's perfect.
Look, he's gone farther than any Pelican. Dang, man.
They're not using them at all. But we could have.
He ain't even in a rotation. Like what?
Nah, he ain't part of nothing, man. He just sitting there watch. He got free tickets. He get paid to watch the games.
I just realized that, man. I mean, did anybody else? I don't know why that just hit me. He was in the finals. He played in the finals.
Yeah, he backed up.
Got playing time in the finals. This dude can't even get playing time in regular season.
Nope, he's not good enough. He's good enough to get back. Oh yeah,
but he was in the finals.
I know. Willie, a tough grader of talent, man. I'm telling you. Look what he did. Is that a surprise, Lex? Look what he do to his starting center. Over the last 7 games, Jonas is averaging right around about 18, 19 minutes a game.
And you know what? Jonas is the second player on this team that has the most playoff experience.
Yes, indeed. It's very weird. I don't know. We really.
Oh my gosh! The truth is coming out, isn't it? What's his name? Big Sean.
Dog Sean, what he talk? He be blasting down on the Pelicans. He says,
he said he be telling us about this team. I'm like, Big Sean, I do too. Look, me and you both.
Big Sean be hating on the Pelicans though. Lex. He got love for the Pels. Big Sean.
Yeah, I know, but look, I like to tell the truth. And look, y'all hearing a lot of truth on tonight. Okay,
he's a consistent hater though. That's one thing he differs from the referees and how they do things. He's a consistent hater. His squad is the Spurs.
But he did down the Spurs. Hey, sometimes there's truth. There's some truth in hating, but he did talk about Jonas. The fact that we don't really use him, like we're not using him like we should.
Right.
I mean,
shout out to my dog Sean, man. Shout out.
But I know he hates on the team, but it's it's ain't nobody taking it like that. You know what I'm saying? We are competitive, love the game and all that good stuff.
I don't know about that, Lex. I'll be taking it.
Look, I'm too optimistic.
I'll be taking it personal. Nobody gonna talk about my team. That's why we're gonna smack the hell out the Spurs when we catch up with them. We got to go.
Yeah, hey, I mean, we gonna compete. I mean,
Right. Hold on, Lex.
team, what?
Let me show him this. Hey, Sean, bro, let's check
Uh-oh.
this out, dog. Check this out.
Uh-oh.
Here you go. Hold on, let me put that on the screen for you, brother. I know sometimes when we talk about the standings right there,
Oh,
your team
wow.
all the way at the
Oh,
bottom.
man.
Let me get right
Look.
there to your team, man. Look at that.
What is that dude's name? Johnny Bravo? Oh, mama. Oh, mama.
Oh man.
Is that his name? Is that what he does?
Yes, that is.
Oh, mama. Oh, mama.
You went back on him on that one. You went back on him. I used to watch Johnny Bravo, man. He always was trying to holler at
I'll come up to something more recent, okay? Are you not entertained? Are you not entertained? Is that why you're not here?
Oh man, that was a good one. He brought me back on that one. Yeah. Johnny Bravo.
King Kong ain't got nothing on me.
Oh my goodness, Lex, you know I'm gonna pull it up, man. You know I'm gonna play it, man. That brought me back. That brought me back, man. Like he was talking about we was talking about Wendy, the guy that eat at Wendy's, and the guy with the donut stuck under his chin.
Oh goodness gracious, Brother Wendy.
Brother Wendy. Yes. Check this out. Here it is, Lex. Look, there you go. There you go.
Right on. I'm gonna hit a homer today. Hey, who's that handsome guy? Hello, 911 emergency. There's a handsome guy in my house. Oh, wait a second. It's only me. Oh, you drive me wild. Showtime!
You didn't get the one where he said, "Oh, mama."
Oh, mama. Oh, I thought that was it, man. That's funny, man. That's funny, man. That's back in the day. That's old school. That's old school. But
I've done a lot of studying. You know what I'm saying? But
that was a good one, Lex. You brought me back on that one. That was pretty good one. You brought me back on that one. That was pretty cool. Yeah, he used to say hubba bubba or some crap like that. He used to say that. Hey, pretty mama. I think that was it. The hey, pretty mama comment. Was that
I
the one?
don't know. I wasn't sure. That's why I was asking. I just wanted to.
Yeah. All right. So anyway, man, we're gonna get ready to get out of here, man. Listen, we appreciate all y'all. Oh, here it is, right here. Whoa, mama. Whoa, pretty mama. That's what it is.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, whoa, pretty mama. Hold on here. Let me see if I can get it.
My bad. I wasn't sure.
Whoa,
it's not
mama.
one of my shows.
We gotta go. Whoa, pretty mama. We gotta go take down Shinra.
Oh no, that's some imitator. All right, so anyway, with that, yeah, I'm gonna have to. That's gonna take me some time to look it up. Anyway, with that being said, y'all remember classic Johnny Bravo. Y'all remember that Dexter's Lab, all that kind of stuff. That's old school, man. Look, shout out to y'all, man. Appreciate y'all for being here. Much love to the fam. Please feel free to hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and feel free to share the show on your social media feed. Pelicans return tomorrow. So shall we. To recap, the Pelicans going to be a very eventful matchup. Pelicans got to get revenge on the Miami Heat. That'll be tomorrow. Zion's going to be a man possessed. The Pelicans are going to be shooting better. Willie will coach better. And, as we move forward, man, and as we get ready to, after that, we can beat them, jump. We got the Heat, the Pistons behind them. And then Lexxah after that, we get right into that home stretch starting off.
Last 11 games.
Oh, yes. And that'll be the run. Be the run. Oh, mama. There you go.
Oh, goodness gracious.
I think you that might be mama's family. I think that'd be
you know what? Hey,
Harper,
somebody you can pull that up too. But you know what? Really, you can go to, because the uncle, when he was singing, he be singing, walking around the house singing everything. Oh wow.
Oh yeah, you talking about it? Damn, I had to yeah. Old Vinton Harper. Yes, indeed. Yeah, he used to say, yeah. He used to ask the dumb question, "Mama, what are we gonna do?" All this old school, man. I'm gonna pull some of these clips up, man, and we're gonna play them at another time. But man, this is pretty fun, man. Always good to go back. All right, so listen, y'all, we're gonna get on out on that. Listen, we appreciate y'all for chiming with us on this episode of the show. Hope we lifted your spirits a little bit after the Pelicans kind of dropped them in the dumps. But listen, man, we appreciate y'all
Talk
support.
about the
Please,
Spurs. That'll always lift my spirits.
the Spurs. If anything, if we gonna laugh bad, at least we can laugh at Sean and Tasha Spurs, man. Let me tell y'all.
Thank you
15
for the
wins.
therapy.
Only one person getting stuck by them damn Spurs is them. I mean, they keep their ass by their own boots. So shout out to y'all, man. Thank y'all for the laugh, Spurs. Tasha, Sean, shout out to y'all, man, for lifting our spirits, man. Shout out to y'all. All right, let's go ahead. You got the last word. We'll close down.
Hey, I do want to ask him a question. So Wemby's doing some things as far as defensively, individually. Do you all feel like he should be a defensive player of the year in his rookie season?
Yeah, y'all, Tasha, Sean, answer that question in the chat, please.
When the team is 25th, like pretty much almost last in defense, do you feel that Wemby should get defensive player of the year? He has more blocks, more steals, what else?
Wemby about to destroy their whole little thing, Lex. He telling them people he want to win right now. So that little rebuild plan they thought that they were going to get 2 or 3. Nope. He wants to win right away.
Just asking, because the thing is like he's doing very well defensively, but his team is not.
Right.
Of course, Tasha said, "Of course."
Of course. Okay, go ahead,
Very
Tasha.
interesting.
All right, go ahead, Tasha.
Very interesting.
How many wins y'all gonna get?
You know what? Does the team success, does that matter when it comes to? I know MVP. Well, it has to matter, because a lot who is an MVP that was like not in playoff contention.
Oh, I don't remember the last one.
Like
That
regular season MVP. So the team success does have some weight to that,
yes.
right?
Oh yes.
Okay.
Oh yes. Sean said no because Wemby is the only one on our team who plays defense.
Nobody else? Sohan? Is that his name? Is that how you say his name? Sohan or Sokan? I've heard analysts say two. I like to say people's names right, so I don't care if I like them or dislike them. I just like to.
It's Jeremy Sohan.
Sohan?
I think it's Sohan.
Okay. He don't play no defense. What about the Kentucky dude? Keldon.
Keldon Johnson. Yeah, I don't think he ain't known as a defensive guy, is he? I know he can score. I know he can score. Vassell is another guy.
Yeah, I was trying to think of his name too. Vassell. What about him? He don't play defense?
I don't think those guys are two-way guys. I think mostly they give an effort.
One way.
Right. But they're not known as.
You know what the other alternative is to one way? The highway.
Right.
You're expendable. You know what I'm saying?
I'm telling you. I want to know how many wins y'all. Tasha, Sean, how many wins the Spurs gonna get this year? At 15, that's gonna be it? Y'all gonna top off at 15? I'll say y'all to get 16 wins. No, 18 wins. Y'all win 2 more games. What you think? How many wins y'all gonna get at the end of the season? Y'all put it in the chat. What did this turn into a Spur bashing affair?
Oh, well, we were, the Pels lost on the night, so we were, they had quite a bit to say. But I was actually serious about that question because there's been a lot of talk about it over social media with obviously Gobert and Wemby are up there, but again, you look at Gobert, they're a top seed. They're like, what? Don't the T-Wolves have the number 1 defense? Or like number 2 or something right now?
Yeah, I have to look at the stats, but I think the last time they were up there, like I think they were the best at one time. I got to pull up the statistics and see where they're at now. But
And
yeah.
a lot of ex-players have talked about it as well. As far as, like he's doing great defensively, but when you look at the team defense, how can you win that and the team is basically last in
Right.
defensive rating? So, it'll be interesting to see, because I think that would be a first if that does happen.
Yeah, that shouldn't happen, but a lot of people thinking, like you said, the team has to have some sort of relevancy. It can't be the worst team in the game, and he wins all this unless his statistics are out of worldly.
Well, it's just politics too, because branding and all that stuff.
Yes. And the NBA looking for the next superstar. So
I
yeah,
was
you're
thinking,
right.
if he doesn't win Rookie of the Year, then they probably would give him Defensive Player of the Year. But I think he's leading in that. So if he gets that, then it's like, okay, well, he got something, because he is doing well. The dude has been doing his thing, but again, the team success has to hold some weight as well. And there's been other players on contending teams that have just done better as a whole. So individually and team wise.
Right. Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see. I know the NBA looking for its next face. And Wembanyama, they thinking has the international appeal, and he's a player that we never seen before. So he could possibly, they could stretch the rules for him. You're right. There is politics to it. Sean says that his team, they'll be different next year. He says our current players will be shipped off this year because they got to speed up the timeline on building the team. So they're going to reach into free agency and all this kind of stuff to see if they can get components around him to become relevant again. And not just from Wembanyama. Popovich is getting old too. He don't exactly look. He's a picture of health, to be honest with you. All they need, I don't remember that you can revive the August the Magnificent episodes with Popovich. You could take Popovich, and I don't know if y'all remember Morgus the Magnificent, but you could take Popovich and put a dirty lab jacket on him, and put him around some test suits, give him a sir, and he could be a villain. He's not the exact picture of health, so you got to be able to kind of move quickly, man. I didn't really buy into them doing that young people thing. I knew that was probably something they're gonna have to expedite. So y'all remember Marcus? That's Popovich, man. He put a dirty ass lab coat on him and put him around into a laboratory, and that's basically Marcus the Magnificent running around there, man. So anyway, so we're not gonna pay Tasha any mind with trying to criticize that Coach Willie. Coach Willie has more wins.
Girl, where you been at? We already talked about him.
All right. So anyway, with that being said, we're gonna get out on that, man. That was pretty fun, bashing the Spurs, man. I hope y'all Pelicans family members had fun. Shout out to Sean.
Look, anytime we need to be therapeutic on a Pelicans loss, man.
Yeah,
how about them Spurs?
How about them 50-win Spurs sitting at the bottom of the Western Conference?
Oh goodness!
How about that? All right, so anyway, we're gonna get out of that. 15 wins. All right, so we're gonna holler at y'all on the next one.
Me too.
Much love, y'all. Peace and go Pels.
Go Pels.
Show us the edge. Yes. The chip on the shoulders, the fight and the passion that comes from within. Whoa. Try to win on every level. Yeah. Expectations high. Gotta show them you can fly. Play harder, better, smarter. Baby, put the league on notice. Show me the edge, yeah. Play with the edge, yeah. Show me the edge, yeah. Play with the edge, yeah. Show me the edge, yeah. Show me the edge, yeah, yeah. Whoa. The will, the heart, the fire. Show 'em the proof, show 'em that it shall be done. Show me the edge, yeah, yeah, yeah. Play with the edge, yeah. Show me the edge, yeah.
You're listening to the Pelicans Postgame Report on the PRO Media Network for all things Pelicans.
TheWhoThatDaily.com. That's right, TheWhoThatDaily.com. Your one-stop shop for everything New Orleans Saints, New Orleans Pelicans, LSU Tigers, even the top flight boxing news. So if you're a Who That and you're looking for a place to stay up on your team, TheWhoThatDaily.com is your site. TheWhoThatDaily.com for the sport Who That in all of us. That's right, the Pro Shop is the platform store where you can go and buy all the latest merch to support the platform. Available at the Pro Shops, we have dozens of hundreds of products available for you and your family. Unisex tees for men and women, hoodies and sweatshirts, tank tops, kids and baby items, long sleeve tees, mugs, pillows, wall art, bath bedding, face masks, phone cases, stickers, bags, fanny packs, socks, hats, and many other items. Please feel free to check out the Pro Shops. The link is in the description section below.